you, Senator Brubaker. And thank you, Morel and Ann, for organizing this today. I'll apologize up front for a little bit of repetition, but I think it is sort of noteworthy when you ask all of these different groups to sort of boil it down to the key points, the same topics rise to the top. And we've all been through the ringer on this. For decades, the Bay States have been making commitments, signing commitments, and acknowledging that we've made very significant progress along the way. We failed to meet every one of those commitments. And in 2000, Governor Ridge signed the Chesapeake 2000 agreement with this clear and explicit commitment that if we didn't reach those goals in a voluntary fashion, we would enter into a more rigorous and regulatory structure in 2010, which has sort of led us to where we are today. And this is a little bit of past, but also critical to the implementation discussion. Most of the significant progress we've made since 1985 has been in the ag sector. And since 1985, Pennsylvania ag has reduced the pollution by more than any other sector in any other state, about 18 million pounds, a little over that now, but about 18 million pounds per year. And we see widespread adoption and implementation of cover crops and no-till in particular. Pennsylvania's implemented more streamside forest buffers than all the other Bay states combined. With the leadership from the General Assembly, Pennsylvania initiated the innovative and very successful REAP program, the first transferable tax credit program for ag conservation practices in the nation. And that was initiated by a broad coalition, including the Farm Bureau, CBF, conservation districts, PMAA, Pennsylvania builders. So it was really a breadth of work to do these sorts of issues. And we're also moving ahead with the trading program, wastewater treatment plant upgrades. So there's a lot of work that has been done. We do have a substantial accounting problem, as has been noted previously. We know that there are large numbers of untracked, unreported best management practices that are being voluntarily implemented across the Commonwealth. And that problem has actually been exacerbated recently because of the widespread adoption of particularly cover crops and no-till. It has a tremendous impact on our ag landscape. You drive around Lancaster County right now and it's almost all green. It's a tremendous change from 5 or 7 years ago. But we need to be able to locate, verify, count, and take credit for those practices and apply them towards our goals. We do have a long way to go. The goals haven't changed substantially since that 2000 date. We still need to secure the numbers Senator Brubaker just put up there. And the good news is that work is very consistent with the work we need to do in the Commonwealth, regardless of the Chesapeake Bay. Most conservation district managers will tell you that about 50% of our farms are currently in compliance with Pennsylvania's own Chapter 102 and Chapter 91 requirements for conservation planning and manure management. We have a lot of outreach and implementation to do on those issues. It's also no secret that we've underfunded our drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater infrastructure for decades. Communities throughout the Commonwealth, not just in the Chesapeake Bay region, are struggling to find solutions and resources for those problems. Resolving these issues that are Pennsylvania specific will carry us the vast majority of the way to the Chesapeake Bay goals. Funding obviously remains a huge challenge for us. Much of the agricultural progress has been forged on the back of USDA funding through the federal farm bill. There's a new farm bill probably going to be worked on in the next calendar year. It's absolutely critical that Pennsylvania weighs in and secures a farm bill that continues funding for the programs that our farms and agricultural producers in the Commonwealth utilize. There's currently legislative discussions about proposals that could reinvigorate the funding for the Growing Greener program, which is a key source of water quality improvements in the Commonwealth. And I think in the near future, and I know how this comes across in the economic times we're in, but we're really going to have to think about additional bonding or other sorts of support for infrastructure improvements. The Commonwealth's infrastructure is aging across the board and we've not kept up with the needs. note the human resources challenge. Just like on the ag side of the equation, we've experienced shortfalls in the technical expertise necessary to plan and implement best management practices on our farmland. And we have the same sort of issue arising around our towns and communities as they start to figure out what are the overall systems they want to implement to improve their water and stormwater infrastructure systems. We certainly have programs that we can improve. We can improve effectiveness, efficiency. We can set higher thresholds for implementation, for participation, so that we can leverage every dollar we can. Across all sectors, we see the intersection of water quality improvement, energy conservation and creation, improved management, and improved economic productivity. And we need to adapt our programs to take advantage of those sweet spots and challenge people to get more for every dollar. It is heartening to see all around us leaders in the ag community who have stepped forward. They're implementing conservation practices, they're implementing management improvements, and seeing overall efficiencies. When you look at the ag landscape, the ag leaders are where they need to be, there's no question. And we're starting to see communities and counties think about this the same way and see these sort of cumulative improvements that lead to not just cleaner water, but better economies and more vibrant communities in their cities and towns. I'd offer CBF's assistance. Sometimes all of us who have presented to you today get our heads enmeshed in this process, and we deal with it day in and day out. And it's really important that we continue to talk with individual citizens, leaders, people who are representing their constituents to get input and opinions. We'd be happy to sit down and discuss any questions and concerns you or your constituents have. We'd also like to get your input on how to make sure our communities have the necessary tools and resources to move this process ahead and to play whatever role we need to play to keep that happening. So, thank you.